Hey guys, finally Sleeps here. It's Wednesday. It's time to do weekly update videos. Now, this is the way it usually works. There's three different videos. There's one for Twitch subs and server boosters. Then there's another video that goes out to site and channel members. Then there's one last video that goes out to all the top tier supporters, whether it be on my website or on Twitch. And then each one gets access to the videos before. So that's what happens every week, except last month I did a public video as well. Instead of that being a weekly, it's going to be a monthly. So this week I'm going to do it because of all the big announcements that came out yesterday. So this week there'll be 4 videos, public video for everybody, Twitch subs, server boosters, then site and channel members, and then a big one for top tier supporters. That's where I usually just tell everything, like what I'm doing in the market and what everything is actually going on. So make sure if you're one of those, if you fall into the other categories, watch this one first and then start watching the chain of all of the weekly videos. So we've got a lot going on and I want to get into this. The big news, huge news, is that EA is extending the current season. We don't have an actual date. We have a speculative date, which I'll talk about in the next video, but we do have a date we expect the season to end. But we just don't know exactly when that is. But all of our expectations for this season ending soon, out the window. That shit was never going to happen. We didn't know. So there's a lot to talk about. So let's just take a look at it, because here is the EA's important season update. We'll just go through it. This was released yesterday. It was actually yesterday morning, like 7 hours before reset. The big thing you're going to see here is that this is quote, while we cannot share the exact date of the new season launch, we can promise it will be our biggest and most exciting update to date. Now that is what EA is saying. That is, wow. I don't know how much most of you trust that at this point, just because of the way the last few events have kind of just rolled downhill hard and fast. Especially if you're a market guy or you're building a top tier team and you've been playing all year. If you're a new player, the last events have been fantastic because they've given almost everybody an opportunity to jump way ahead in the game. But for us that have been grinding this out the entire season, the last couple of events have been awful. Like, oh, so awful. So, biggest in bet, I mean, that bar right now is so goddamn low. I mean, we're going to trip it over it at this point. So, I don't necessarily think biggest and most exciting update yet. It's going to have to be that for a lot of people to stick around. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, the future events. This is the first time we've seen them kind of release like, hey, we have new stuff coming. Full slate of new events coming your way. Basically like, oh my God, I know this is bad, but here's some new shit. It's what it is. The new things that they've got coming. This is international themed refresh of national heroes. How can you have an international theme of a national hero of it's already international themed? It's not like it would be. That's what international themed club heroes. That makes sense. International themed international hero. Wait, that's the same thing. It's a reboot. It's a reboot. That's all it is. It's like it's not. God. Oh, Jesus. So we're getting another National Heroes, which is what, third one now? Because we had National Heroes, and then they brought some shit back into the store. Now we're bringing it back out, but they're going to retheme it internationally. I don't know. Retro Stars will be back again this year, which, okay, a lot of people have been asking for Retro Stars. We asked for Retro Stars because we had special SBCs in it last year that we're excited about returning. Plus a chance to see some revamped players that were huge earlier in the season. That's what Retro Stars is. If you don't know what Retro Stars is, it's a reboot of players that did well earlier in the season. Do you see a theme here? It's reboot. Retro Stars, they update players, specific event players, and re-release them. Like a Calvert-Lewin Star Pass is going to be in there because he was the most used player at the beginning of the year. He's going to have to be back in there. They'll just bump him up and he'll be like, hey, this is the new thing. Yes. Okay, so that's Retro Stars. There should be some big stuff with it. Now, normally Top Transfers, which is the next one, Top Transfers is usually a winter transfer event because the season resets when the leagues reset, the European leagues reset. So preseason is the transfer event. So all of the players that are featured in preseason are newly transferred players. So we were expecting to see all of those big players. Basically PSG, their lineup was going to be in there. I mean, there's a lot of players that moved around club to club, but Messi and Ronaldo were going to be in preseason. Everybody was excited about that, but now that they extended the season, we're not going to have that. So they're adding Top Transfers in as another event. So an event focused on newly transferred players is a better way of saying a end of the season themed refresh of Top Transfer, which is exactly what it is. Again, it's another reboot, but it's going to have Messi and Ronaldo, so everybody's going to be like, yay! But anyway, then we also have a event focused on a prime icon, but it's not an event. It's a new base event, which means it's another campaign. So we had, it's like seasons or the I Am Root, the Gullet campaign, that kind of stuff. We're getting another one with a new icon, a prime icon. But we don't know who it's going to be. We don't know anything about it yet. The big question though is, will the icon points that we've been claiming from the icon strike and not doing anything with, will those be able to work in this new campaign? Will they take icon strike and add a player to it, or will it be a completely new campaign like Gullet was? So I don't know what to tell you. We'll see though. It depends, but that's going to happen. Now that is not another event. That is a campaign. So that could be happening at any time, but it says whip on there, which don't confuse whip with WAP. Two different things. Just saying. This is a work in progress. It's a lot different. It's not a wet ass project. No, it is whip. That means they don't know what they're doing yet. We don't know what's going on. This is like, holy shit, we're extending the season. We haven't told anybody. We're going to finally tell them. People are going to lose their goddamn minds. What are we going to do? Let's make this little graphic that shows all the future events. And we'll throw an icon graphic in there that we already have. And we'll say there's another prime icon coming. We got to figure something out for that. And then let's throw in Fall Harvest in there too. And we'll call it winter and fall themed events. But they know it's that coming. And then that last one, it's preseason, but just call it Top Secret. That's what it is. So we have Fall Harvest and Winter Freeze, and then a Top Secret event, which is going to be preseason and or Team of the Year, because God damn it, the season, it's going to end. It's coming into Team of the Year. So Top Secret could very well be Team of the Year. and preseason all in one. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a later video. In the one of the next rounds of these weekly videos. So I think we'll probably do that one in the Twitch sub video next. Talk about that. God. We can't wait to showcase all the events along with plenty of highly rated players. Oh, see, they let us know that what WIP was. Work in progress. Had that confused there for a minute. Okay, 110 plus player OVR. Player OVR limits will be going past 110 OVR as the rest of the season progresses. This means that we will see OVRs going up towards 120 OVR this season. We have scheduled the OVR unlock to open past 110 OVR in October. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there because I love this going up towards 120. And I imagine as this was being typed out, they were like, OVR is going to 120. Do you think, what if we just say it's going up towards 120? We don't say it includes 120. If that will be, we think people will be better with that than if we just say it's going up to 120? I don't know. Let's just say going up towards 120. It's going to 120. You can't go towards 120. Then they would say it'll be 115 or it'll be 118. It's going to be 120. It's going up towards 120. We're not that stupid. We have scheduled the OVR unlock to open past 110 OVR in October. So between now and October, we'll have 108, 109, and 110 unlocked. And then between October and the end of the season, it's going to extend past 110. But we already know, which has been confirmed in Discord by EA, that game mechanics will not allow for player stats to move beyond 140. So because we can't move player stats past 140, this is going to be interesting. So it's expected to reach 120. Just ignore the towards. All right, new season reveals. Check back in November for the first of the several weekly new season reveals. So beginning some point in November, there'll probably be like a pop-up in the news that's like, hey, next season, get ready. New improvements here. That kind of stuff. That's all they're saying. Don't get excited. It doesn't mean that there's going to be like a beta release or anything like that. It just means that we're going to have news release stuff coming in. And then the rest is frequently asked questions. Well, and there's nothing. It's just a means to curb some. When is the new FIFA mobile season starting? Duh, that's kind of the whole question. That's what everybody wants to know. And I'll talk about that in the next video. But when are the OVRs going over? We just said that October, but they don't say anything more on that. It just says follow along at Twitter to let us know what's going on. So that's the breakdown of what it is. Now, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, and we kind of broke down what we're doing. I mean, people are losing their minds over this, and the biggest problems, there's 5 huge problems. 5 really, really big problems. Number 1, no one wants to extend the season. After team of the season, we're looking forward to the wind down and the reset to something new. That's what happens every year. After team of the season, everybody's like, oh yeah, now I got like a couple of months to just finish my team out. And because this extension here, everybody's like, well, shit, I already started upgrading and training and everything, and now all of a sudden you're going to tell me that there's a big, massive extension? It's pissed off a lot of people, and everybody's worried about what that's actually going to do to what they've got and what we're going to deal with. Number 2, which directly relates to number 1, people are worried about chemistry extending past 540 max, making theme teams who are already almost pointless, more pointless than they are right now because of the chemistry. And if the chemistry continues to bump up, like if there's another perk update or they change things there, and let's say chemistry goes to 600, 700, or whatever, all of these older players from the beginning of the season are going to be dead. So theme teams, unless you're doing like a Chelsea or, a Man U theme team, you're kind of screwed. It's going to be tough to have players from these teams enough with current chemistry to make the max if it goes beyond 540. Number 3, the cost of upgrading to 120. Oh, if we extrapolate and they follow the same path of extension, you're to take a full 11-man squad of 107 to 120, it's like 913 million coins, and let's just say a shitload of XP. So I talked about the season earlier about it being the billion coin season, just because it was so easy to come up with 1 billion coins this season. Everybody and their brother were like, hey, I hit 1 billion coins. I'm special. No, you're not. This was the billion coin season. And now you're going to need 1 billion coins just to max your team out in the next few months. So what is the cost? How much XP is it going to be? What's going to happen? Number 4, if players are going to hit 120, how many of their stats are going to end up maxed out at 140? There's only so much training you can do, and we've got 107 players that have a ton of stuff maxed out. I mean, here, just look at Prime Icon Zidane, and look where he's at. It's ridiculous. Okay, so this is at 107. Acceleration, long shot, crossing, curve, and agility, ball control are all at 140. Volley, short passing, vision are already, shot power, those are already at 140 with skill boost at 23. Take his skill boost to 30, take him to 120. How many of these are not going to be 140? It's his like standing tackle and slide tackle and marking. That's it. That's a concern. Like, at what point will it not even matter what players you're using because everyone has the same maxed out team? That's a big issue. It's a big issue. And number 5, what's this going to do to Team of the Year? Because if this runs through freeze, and then we have a top secret event, if that top secret event is not preseason, it's got to be Team of the Year. Or they'll just go, instead of preseason being transfer players, as your now and later players, we're going to give you Team of the Year players as your now and later players. So you're going to start the season with these, transferred now and later Team of the Year cards that are going to come in on the new season at like 83 OVR to start the new season. So we're going to miss a massive event this way with players that some of us still have in our squad. I still have Team of the Year players. Allison is in my main squad. And then I also have Robbo and Alexander Arnold in my Liverpool squad. Now, where we're supposed to be at the end of the season. I know their chemistry sucks, but if those are in the preseason, we're missing out on a huge portion of what we expect the season to be every year. See, now I didn't put this out yesterday because the video would have been like me, just breaking shit, desk flipping. That's what it would have been like yesterday. I've had a day to relax, center, drink, and come to terms with this. So I have some positives that I can relay on this. Okay, so it's gonna let the market recover. Okay, it's gonna let the market calm down. Time to recover for the market. That's important. It's not. It's only not important because the season is extending. So if the season was ending when we thought it would, nobody gives a shit about the market now. It's already dead. Rivalries killed it. They took it out back and shot it like Old Yeller. Rivalries. But now we're going to have time for the market to dig itself out of the grave like it's The Walking Dead. We got time for that. It's going to be stumbling around for the rest of the season. But at least it'll recover. That's number one. Number two. This one's a little better. It's a little bit better. Restarting the season after the first of the year is going to completely change the flow of the market for the entire next year, for that whole other season. And what I'm talking about that is, like, we're in season 5 right now, and we know exactly what happens every year. And if you don't know what happens every year in the market, where the coins are and how to do it, you've got to be new, because it's the same thing every year. And I normally don't ever say this in a public video because, number one, it should be common knowledge at this point. And two, I just keep this to myself and only, share it with subs and stuff. But silvers into freeze, and that's where silvers peak. Silvers peak and freeze. You dump the shit out of all your silvers in January, and you start reinvesting all that coins into elites. And then elites flow into March, maybe April, and then you move all your coins into masters. Masters get you through the end of the year. If you want to shift back or you come in late, you can start at elites. We skip golds. Screw golds. Nobody cares about golds. That's where all of the coins flow. Silvers, elites, masters. Then maybe back to elites and then masters a little bit towards the end, because the curve goes up and then it plummets. It's like walking into the ocean and then Mariana's Trench. That's preseason. That's when everything dies. So this is going to change everything because we won't have the same event flow. And if they release things on target with what we've seen, like SBC coming in the spring, or, it's just our players are going to shift. Everything's going to change. The whole thing's going to change. Not just the market, everything. It's going to be nuts. It's really going to change things. And I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. It's just really going to change things. Number 3, hopefully the new season is as amazing as they're making it out to be. If we're giving them all this extra time, this shit better come out awesome. We better be excited. I'm not saying it, but if they added foot draft, I think nobody would complain. It'd be like, all right, good job, guys. Thanks. I'll download FIFA Mobile again. I quit in September when you dropped this extended season on me. Bullshit. But I came back now for foot draft. We're not going to see foot draft. I don't think that's going to happen. But if they come back and it looks amazing and it's like, the graphics are great and it's a new game engine and blah, blah, blah. If that happens, then this could be a really good thing. But if it comes back and it's rebranded and we have some rebranded bullshit like, what is this? International themed refresh of national heroes. If we come back with something like that, then people aren't going to be happy. If it's, like a rebranding of FIFA Mobile 21. Now that's the last thing. For those that stick around, this is at the very least a big enough deviation from the normal flow of things, that it should shake everything up. Event flow versus team building for Season 6 or FIFA Mobile 22. Or will it be Season 6 FIFA Mobile 23? I don't even know what's going to happen because the season's not starting until 22, and if it's going to be another long season and end in 23, see, it's a lot to talk about. A lot of weird stuff. I don't know, but the deviation from the normal flow should change things a lot. Because usually we have like really crappy events at the start of the season, like Fall Harvest, and then it comes into Freeze where you start to see a big, massive event where you can build players and get new stuff. That's exciting because it's the start of the season. But we're going to go into it and people are going to be like, hey, it's February, Heartbreakers, pack only crap. Do you want an 84 Di Maria with his little heart thing? Like, yay, no. It's going to change everything. It's going to change everything. By the time the big events roll around, Easter is going to be huge then because we'll still be building a team. Carnival and Easter, it won't be like, man, there's nobody in this event I want because I've already got all my Team of the Year players in and everything. No, when those come around, you're going to be like, oh my God, my team still sucks. There's some good stuff in Easter. There's some good stuff in Carnival. So it's going to change everything. That's a positive because I think we're kind of bored with what's going on. All right, yeah, this video went way longer than I expected it to be. So in the next one, the Twitch sub video, we'll talk more about this. We'll go over dates and we'll look at the market. Make sure you watch these videos in order. And if this is the only video you have access to because it's the public video, make sure you at least come over to Twitch stream, follow along on Twitch, check it out. I mean, if you don't subscribe over at Twitch, you might get gifted a sub just for hanging out and being there on stream. It happens quite a bit. And then you'd have access to more videos for at least a month, that kind of stuff. If you haven't subscribed here at YouTube, turned on notifications, make sure you do that too. That way you never miss a video when it goes live. And check out finallysleeps.com for all things FIFA Mobile and more, like other games and stuff like that and weird stuff. And then make sure you're following at Twitch. I don't know why you guys still don't all follow over at Twitch. That's where all the fun happens. Seriously. All right, guys, that's it. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making videos. And if you're eligible for more, stick around for part 2 of this week's videos.